Does anyone believe if President Trump wasn't running for president that he would be facing 4 criminal trials? Fani Willis announced her investigation in February of 2021, but didn't bring charges until 2.5 years later after President Trump announced he was running for president. Attorney General Garland named Jack Smith special counsel 3 days after President Trump announces that he's running for president. And Alvin Bragg said he could not see a world, quote, he could not see a world in which he would indict President Trump and call Michael Cohen as a prosecution witness. But that's exactly what he did after President Trump announces he's running for president. Alvin Bragg brings a case that the Department of Justice wouldn't, that the Federal Elections Commission wouldn't bring, that his predecessor, Cy Vance, wouldn't bring, and as Alvin Bragg himself said, he wouldn't bring, but then he did after President Trump announced he was running for president. Some might call this all election interference. Think about it. Mr. Bragg is charging President Trump with conspiracy to impact the 2016 election. Ms. Willis and Mr. Smith are charging President Trump with a conspiracy to interfere with the 2020 election. Seems to me the conspiracy is between Bragg, Smith, and Willis working to interfere with the 2024 race. Of course, none of this is new. 2016, government spied on President Trump's campaign. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take this committee's word for it. John Durham said it. Clinton campaign paid the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired Fusion GPS, who hired Christopher Steele, a foreigner, who talked to other foreigners, who put together the fake dossier, which became the basis for the FBI to spy on President Trump's campaign. The basis for a whole investigation where we saw text messages back and forth from folks on the investigation saying, "We'll stop Trump." Then, of course, it was the Mueller investigation. 19 lawyers, 41 FBI agents, $30 million to find nothing. No conspiracy, no coordination, none whatsoever. Then it was impeachment. Anonymous whistleblower, with no firsthand knowledge, who was biased against President Trump, who worked for Joe Biden, talks about a phone call and they impeached the President of the United States. Then they raided his home. Broke every protocol, every normal procedure. Again, don't take our word for it. Stephen D'Antuono, FBI Assistant Director of the Washington Field Office, told us this in his deposition. Then, of course, they tried the 14th Amendment. We'll just keep him off the ballot. The easiest way to win is not to let your opponent play. That's what they tried to do. Thank goodness the Supreme Court said no to that. 9-0, they said no to that. And then, of course, after all that, after he's a candidate, as I said, we get all these cases. In Georgia, Fani Willis hires her boyfriend, who travels to D.C. on the taxpayer dime, meets with White House officials, January 6th committee, all in an effort to target President Trump. In New York, gag orders placed on President Trump by a partisan judge whose daughter is a Democrat fundraiser, while Michael Cohen, convicted perjurer, is allowed to post anything he wants on social media, say whatever he wants. Not to mention the guy who's the lead prosecutor for Alvin Bragg, Mr. Colangelo, who worked for Letitia James, then worked for the Justice Department, then went back to New York to work for Alvin Bragg. And in Florida, we learned that Jack Smith altered the order of the classified documents he seized. The physical documents don't match up with the scanned documents. Jack Smith didn't properly handle the documents he said President Trump didn't properly handle. Jack Smith mishandled classified information, all while charging President Trump with, quote, mishandling classified information. You can't make this up. Some would call that tampering with evidence. Today's hearing is about how the law is being used to target political opponents. It's truly about the weaponization of government, truly about what this committee has been focused on for this Congress. And obviously, President Trump is example number one. It's about the double standard, one set of rules for the politically connected, the other set for the people they want to target. But maybe most important, it's about where does all this go? Where does it all go? Because if they can do it to a president, they can do it to anybody. Any one of us, any of our constituents, any American they want to. And that's what's frightening. That's what's truly frightening. So I want to thank our witnesses for being here and talking about this most critical issue, how the government, how the agencies, how the law is being turned on people that they politically disagree with.